Hey guys, it's Derek here. We're gonna play a little bit of Outriders today. This is my character, Luther. Um, was a pre-generated name the game gave it, and I wasn't arse changing it. So there you go. This is how far I've gotten in the game, so we're not gonna go straight to that. We're actually gonna use a feature the game has that allows you to select a specific story point that you want to go to. So probably should have said this before I clicked in there, but spoilers, obviously, for story stuff. So we're actually going to roll it to Rifttown? No. We're going to roll it to the first city, which is the area directly after the demo. And we're going to start right at the start. Your save will be overwritten after you will continue the game with the selected story point. Do you want to proceed? I hope this doesn't fuck me over now and make it so that I can't actually get back to where I was, but I guess we'll see. We're also going to drop the world tier down. So the world tier system that the game has, it allows you to set specific difficulties. The game starts you at world tier 1, so the very first thing when you step foot into the game, enemy levels are -2 from yours. Dropped item level is also -2. Loot rarity modifier is 80%. Legendary drop rate modifier is 0. Wearable item cap and all that. And as you play through the game and defeat more enemies, your world tier goes up. And you can see the penalties start to disappear. You go back to normal, where enemy level is the same as yours, but dropped item level is also the same as yours. Loot rarity modifier is set to 100%, so default. And there's actual, like a decent, well, not a decent chance actually, but a better than 0 chance of you getting legendary stuff. And so on as you go up. You can see at the bottom, permanent unlocks are good. They allow you to wear better gear than your level actually qualifies for. And you can see they have their names: normal, hard, expert, master, and I'm up to legend. But I would recommend not ever playing on the highest world tier on solo, because you will just get annihilated. The game is very much geared towards cooperative play, and playing on solo you are just going to get massacred. So we're going to drop it back to 5, I think. So enemies will still be a bit challenging, but at least they'll be manageable as a solo player. Okay, we'll jump ahead. Okay, so we've arrived at the first city. Most areas of the games kind of start out like this. You have a not central, but you have a camp. Why I have to observe that. You have a camp that your truck follows around. You can customize the truck so it appears differently in other players' games. So if you jump in, you'll be able to immediately tell which truck is yours. And obviously there's a bit of e-peen stuff with this kind of thing. You have your stash, which is fairly typical for multiplayer games. You can change your appearance here if you're not happy with how it turned out. This guy is your driver, so if you ever want to go to a different area, you come talk to him. And there is a guy who sets up here, but because of the story point I have chosen, we do not have access to him right now. And here's your banner. This is your fast travel point. It's also how players can find you in the world. But that's not a problem because we are stuck on closed, so no one will be joining us. This is the first city. This is the city that when they travel to this planet they set up, but turns out this planet doesn't want us here and is really doing its best to kill off humanity. So this is a ghost town now, particularly since this engine blew up and there's like nuclear fallout all over the place. Anyway. Gonna do some harvesting here. Luther is a technomancer. Technomancers make gadgets and shit. So Luther is going to be mostly deploying turrets and stuff. So he's going to throw a turret out here and kill some dudes while he's at it. I actually haven't played this in a while, so this might be a mistake. Although I might be kicking ass on level 5. Level 5 might be a bit too low. So Luther has a couple of skills. You can see I deployed my turret at the beginning, and now I've got a minigun. You can see at the very bottom of my skill bar, it's the right one. It's probably hard to see at the moment, but sorry, the minigun is very loud. There are 2 levels to this particular skill. One of them gives me a minigun, which I have, which I'm now out of. To be honest, I think my normal gun actually does more damage. I've set myself on fire, so that was stupid. Let's throw my turret out again. So you can see health. Enemies are fairly aggressive, and they take a lot of health off you. But you also get health back by defeating enemies or doing damage to them. Which is Outriders' kind of big thing. It's how they ensure the gameplay is like aggressive, that you have to go out and fight if you want to get health back. The Technomancer is probably the most lenient of this kind of system, in that he only has to do damage. Just doing damage is how he gets his health back. Other enemies or other player classes, you have to like specifically be close up to them to get health back. Some of them you'll only get health back if they die. Some of them you'll only get health back. They have to be on fire first. So there are like stipulations for how you get your health back. So I can show you the alternate version of Tools of Destruction. So instead of a Gatling gun, I can also rocket launcher this guy, which is much better because I don't want to fight him. He's a dickhead. I don't have to aim down sights necessarily. I can hip fire. I just rolled into a grenade, but that's fine. Oh. I'm out of rockets. I'm on fire again. Okay. I'm nearly dead. So that was my other skill, which was just heal me. Remember how I said there was a system that you had to kill enemies to get health back? Not necessarily for the Technomancer. The Technomancer can just get health back he has a particular skill that gives him health. I knew it was a sniper. I knew it. Snipers in this game are fucking dickheads. They do way too much damage, and their aim is far too good. There's no, like, they never miss. They're easily the most annoying enemy type in the game. Even on this difficulty where I am annihilating enemies, like I am rolling through them. Level 5 is... World Tier 5 is probably too low, but I am recording. I don't have my entire focus on the game necessarily, so we're going to let that slide. And also, I kind of want to show you as much of the game as I can, and I don't want to be spending it constantly dying and having to replay the same section over and over again, which I would be doing if I was trying to put up my world tier. Anyway, he says as he just randomly runs around the battlefield doing nothing. I'm looking for a chest. Alright, here we go. Most areas you run into, there's a couple of enemies you'll need to fight, and then there's usually a chest. There's usually at least one chest in the area that you can find. You can see at the top I have my own individual characters level, which is the very top blue bar, and then underneath that is world tier. That's maxed out because I've already unlocked world tier 5, but if I had put it to world tier 7, there would be an actual progress bar there. And I can use the D-pad to tell me where to go. It's obviously straightforward enough. So we picked up a bunch of shit. That's the wrong button. Playing too many games. We've picked up a bunch of shit, and now we open the Destiny menu. Because the game looks fucking identical to Destiny in this menu. Here's the shit we picked up. All red arrows, which means garbage. So we're just gonna junk all of it. Goodbye. All terrible shit. The weapons I have here are both legendaries. So it's unlikely I'm going to find anything better. A good system that the game has. So we do have... Sorry, I want to go back in there. God damn it, I'm playing the wrong game too much. So some stuff we can show off here. So inventory. So we have our guns, and they have their different whatever firepower, rate of fire, that kind of thing. Healing you get back from the game, from the gun. I don't know why it's giving me a red arrow when... And I'm not comparing it to anything, but whatever. Anyway, under that we have mods. Mods are a big deal for this game. They're how you differentiate your character from other characters who are playing the same class. So this gun will generate shield for me on every shot. And it will also freeze enemies. So you saw a bit of that. Enemies are frozen when I shoot them. This LMG that I barely use, honestly. I'm just put it on because it was legendary. But it creates little explosions every 1.5 seconds, or when it takes damage, and reloading weapons inflicts burn on enemies previously wounded by this weapon. So it prioritizes you hitting a lot of enemies with it rather than focusing on one enemy. The revolver, which I don't use, again, I pretty much exclusively just use this gun, but it also does fusion explosions. They're not super interesting because most of the gun mods are shared across a lot of different guns. It's really in your armor mods where it's different. So this improves my fixing wave, which is the healing thing, by giving me 100% armor and 30% resistance anytime I use it, which the default does not give you. This improves tools of destruction by giving me 100% base ammo, so double my ammo. That's insane. For the cryo turret, increases the damage of the cryo turret, which is obviously objectively a good thing. Rockets do more damage, also good. And each individual shot of the cryo turret also does more damage. So that meshes pretty well with the skills I've got, because they're all skills I have. These mods can all be swapped out. There's a system for when you junk a gun or a piece of armor that has a mod in it that you don't already know or have never encountered before. It's added to your library, and you can then recreate that mod or swap it into an existing piece of armor when you unlock the crafting guy, which I don't have in this particular point in the story to what I jumped to. These are the skills for the Technomancer. So this is healing. This will heal me and my partner if I have one, partners if I have them, or any gadget that I have that has a health bar. So right now it's just the turret, but I believe there are other gadgets that also have health. This is the turret itself. It shoots enemies and freezes them, and also pulls a bit of aggro, so enemies will focus on the turret sometimes instead of me. And Tools of Destruction basically gives me a rocket launcher or gives me a minigun, depending on whether I press the button or hold the button. Really interesting. It's one of the later skills. The last skill I got was the healing one, which is actually really useful in cooperative play. It's not super useful in solo, but there are some times where you just are getting smashed, particularly on higher difficulties. Haven't unlocked these two, don't know what they do. I think this is some kind of ice attack or potentially ice armor, and that just looks like a big turret flamethrower thing. I doubt it's a flamethrower, but that's what it looks like. Some other skills. This is a grenade. It's a proximity bomb. It's very useful in the beginning. I don't find it super useful at this stage because enemies have too much health. This is like a mortar. It just fires a shit ton of missiles. Again, not super useful in solo play because enemies tend to swarm you. It's a bit more useful in cooperative because you can have a buddy go up and collect a bunch of enemies for you. And then just fire this thing off, and that's the end of them. And this just makes your shots better, but I didn't realize it did that as well. It also appears to do damage to enemies that are around them and does poison damage. I should look into that because that might actually be better. And then the class tree, which is additional to your skill set. This is how you also separate your character out. These are like subclasses. You can go down the Pestilence route. You can go down the Tech Shaman route. You can go down the Demolisher route. And then the other classes also have these subclasses to them. And then accolades, might as well finish out the menus. Accolades are just kill 100 enemies with an assault rifle and we'll give you some customization shit. That's all that is. Anyway, back to the game. Story-wise, we were dropped onto this planet. Earth has gone to shit. We're on this new planet now, Enoch, but we were wounded because of story shenanigans that you can figure out for yourself. We were put into cryostasis for a number of years, and when we came out, everything had gone crap, and there were these ridiculous electromagnetic anomaly storms all over the place that we've had to deal with. I'm stuck, sorry. That we've had to deal with. But most people, it kills them. But for me, for whatever reason, it gave me superpowers. And I've now become an altered human. There are, of course, other altered humans who are the enemies of the game. And obviously the de facto, or not de facto, but the, cannon fodder grunts that are thrown at you as well. Got some stuff. Got some more items that are probably going to be shit, so I'm not going to bother looking at them. But I'm sure if you have played Destiny, you already know what this game is. It's really not that different. Get the turret out. I can't really throw it that far. But it'll shoot him and freeze him. So we got a couple of good things with like our different mods and our different skills. You can see the cryo turret freezes enemies, naturally. That's why it's called the cryo turret. But we've also got my main gun, that I've added a mod that also freezes enemies. And then additional to that, I have put in some class points, some skill points that enemies, 1, stay frozen even longer, and 2, take more damage while they're frozen. So there's a lot of possibilities for skill synergy, that kind of thing. If you like that kind of thing, which obviously is kind of what you're going for in these sorts of games. Dropped a grenade on me. The enemies in this game, they love grenades. Enemies throw grenades at you all the time. Some enemies, when they die, drop grenades just right where they are. And the radius on those grenades is enormous. You're talking several rolls to get out of the radius of the grenade. Let's see if I can get that turret up there on them. So, being able to freeze enemies, I mean, it's obviously useful because, 1, they stop shooting at you, which is obviously something you want. But the other benefit is if you are in co-op play, he can take damage on his gun. That's stupid, but okay. If you're playing in cooperative play, being able to freeze enemies is also beneficial to your partner, because then they can smoke these enemies. So as you can probably tell, the Technomancer is all about freezing shit. Kind of area denial, controlling the battlefield with his turrets, with his ordnance stuff, with grenades, with rocket launchers, that kind of thing. That's his deal. There's somebody up on the roof. And there's somebody out here. What's up? So, reminder, I'm playing on a lower difficulty. You can see that guy in the back, Captain. He is also altered, so that means he has special abilities. So he has applied Sanctuary to these enemies. I don't know what that does. I somehow doubt it's beneficial to me. There's the Captain. Doesn't really help when I have double the amount of rockets I'm meant to have, and all of my rockets do considerably more damage than they're supposed to do. So he doesn't last very long. Whoops, that's a grenade. Things are not going well for me here. I don't know why I'm taking so much damage. I might die here. Okay. I'm stuck. I really hate it when the game does this. was an awful. That was an awful shot. So I've obviously spec'd the tools of destruction to be better with the rocket launcher. You know, more ammo in general, but also the rocket launcher does more damage. And I've unlocked Cold Snap, so I'm actually kind of interested to see what that does. Okay, it's an AoE freeze thing. So that will probably mesh well with my do more damage while things are frozen, etc. I just want to get rid of the rocket. I will look into that myself later because my character is currently spec'd to work better with Tools of Destruction. I'd need to find mods that work best with Cold Snap, and also I need to unlock the guy who lets you install mods, which I haven't done yet. But I have played this area already, so I'm not particularly arsed in checking it out again. So I've unlocked this point already. That's why the map, though. That's why my flag is already there. If I hadn't been, there would have been a ghostly outline, and I'd have to plant the flag. But I've done it already. We can continue. There is a side quest up there. If you're playing the game and you didn't know, there's one up there if you want to check it out. Otherwise, we'll keep going. We are in this city looking for a Dr. Zahidi, which, as you can see on the left hand of the screen, I think it's been there this whole time. As I recall, this fight coming up is actually kind of tricky, as there are a lot of... There's a good few snipers that spawn here, and that's the only reason it's hard. It's just the snipers are dickheads, and they're really hard to fight. So that was a grenade right away. There's a sniper, already took a shot at me, and I'm already down health. Now I gotta find him. Although chances are he'll find me. There he is. Alright, that's him done. Thank you. Throw the turret out again. He ended up dropping the grenade on himself. That's fine. So I've also added class points to reduce the cooldown on all my gadgets. So that only applies to the turret and the healing thing, so they come back pretty fast. But conversely, the sniper rifle actually, or not the sniper rifle, I'm too preoccupied with this asshole. There's two of them. I knew there were a lot of snipers in this area, because I consistently get annihilated in... When we play this in co-op, anyway, I do. Bet he didn't like that. Oh, I got both of them. Nice. I headshot him with the rocket launcher. Hell of a shot. That was blind fire as well. He did not like that shit. Alright. The game, or this area will be a little... No, it won't. I'm glad he missed, because that would have sucked. Come on, stick your head up. Stick your head up. Stick your head up. God damn it. Alright, fuck it, I got him anyway. More jerks. Come on, come down here. Come down here and fight me. Whoops, that was a big miss. Alright, get a turret out. I don't know why I wasn't. I usually am pretty on the ball with that. That was a terrible shot too. Oh, he was dead already. Oh well. Loop-a-doo. Well, that turret is in the exact worst position for dealing with these guys. Alright, that's that. Sometimes the game wants you to collect a key before you can progress. I don't know why. Don't know why it decides it needs to make you go out of your way to pick up a key, but whatever. I've got the key. I just want to find those two snipers because they dropped some stuff. And you know, it's probably gonna be shit, but it might be good. Right? I mean, like the default in these kind of loot games. Fuck you, game. The default in these kind of loot games is the vast majority of the loot you pick up is shit, right? It's almost always garbage, but occasionally it's better. And yes, I know I went this way already, but there's a chest in here, and I'm gonna get it. Oh wait, it's just an ammo chest. No, there's a proper chest too. Okay, proper chest. And good. No? Garbage? Garbage. Like, it's highly unlikely I'm going to see a fucking legendary pop out anytime soon, but it would be nice. Alright, we picked up a bunch of shit. Wrong button. God damn it. We picked up a bunch of shit, so let's have a look. Yeah, all red arrows. Okay, that is apparently better, but it's green and doesn't have a mod, so screw that. Plus, I never use that gun, so what's the point? Worse. Okay, these are better. These are better, but again, I don't have access to the mod guy at the moment, so I want to keep this mod. So unless they have that mod, I'm probably not going to bother with it. Which they don't. But I won't scrap them because they are actually better. See, there's a cold snap mod. Skill activation removes negative statuses from you and all your allies in range, and receive negative status immunity for 5 seconds. So that's pretty good. So can I lock these, or can I just do that and then unmark you? Yes, unmark you and unmark you, so you look like you're the better. Max health and status power, or bonus firepower or status power. We'll think about it when it actually comes up. Otherwise, we can scrap the rest of them. Cool. And I got a trophy. Awesome. We might unlock the crafty guy. I don't know. It is Dr. Zahidi is the craft guy, so story reasons we are gonna go find him and rescue him, but we won't have access to him immediately. We'll have to do some stuff before that. Probably should have thought ahead before.
I see the radio tower. No sign of Zahidi.
They're probably keeping him in one of the buildings close to the tower.
That's the radio tower.
Judging by the number of insurgents heading your way, I'm guessing they know we're here.
Awesome. Another chest up here. It's good that once you find them, they don't move, and you can just go after them again. You can reset your story progress and go after them again. This is another side quest area. If you feel like it. There's some iron you can collect here. Nothing down there. Might as well. You should kind of grab these whenever you see them. It's not like they give you a shit ton of iron, and you don't really require a lot of it, at least at the beginning of the game. Iron and leathers and that kind of thing are for leveling up and crafting new equipment. You need iron specifically to make mods and stuff for your guns, and you need leather for armor. So that's what I mean by them being aggressive. They're just immediately on you. They're immediately shooting you. So you have to respond in kind. You have to get in and fight. Unless, of course, you're a technomancer. And the turret can do a lot of the job for you. Turret's gone. Get him back out. Alright, so we've got an altered there at the back. Captain of some kind. Probably won't last too long. He took all those rockets though, good for him. He didn't throw that grenade very far, dude. Alright, Turret's gone, get him back out. I'm glad that the cooldown I have... sorry. The cooldown that I have basically means that when a turret is gone, it's pretty much ready to go back out again. Like, I can pretty much just throw it straight back out. It just died. I can throw it straight back out. I do like that. That is really satisfying that I can spec the character like that. That I can spec it to take advantage of the freezing. That's really satisfying. I do like that. There's a lot of stuff I don't like about the game. But that is something I do like. I don't like that the game sorta shames you for not being on the highest world tier by, you know, gatekeeping a lot of the loot. It's highly unlikely you're gonna hit any legendary, exotic, whatever stuff on the lower difficulties. So I don't like that too much. And that's kind of combined with the game. If you die while you are making progress towards a new world tier, you lose a portion of that progress when you die. So it is somewhat punishing you for trying to move to the next world tier, but then also punishing you for not being on the next world tier. So it's every time I press the wrong button. It's I don't know. They need to make their mind up on that. Anyway, that's garbage. And again, these are still better, but none of them have this particular mod, so I don't want to swap it out until I'm able to specifically put that mod on. But we can get rid of greens. We can comfortably say I am not going to be hanging on to them. Okay. There's a cutscene in here, but I'm going to skip it. So I'll see you when we're out of the cutscene. Okay, some story stuff happened. Hello. Some story stuff happened, and now we have descended from the radio tower, which was there. No, there? Yes. One of them. Oh yeah, it's there. That's the radio tower. We came down the cable car, and now we're here. Because of story shenanigans. We found Zahidi, but he wants us to go find something for him before he will commit to joining our cause. So we gotta go find his truck, I think. It's not the truck he wants something in the truck, but we gotta go get there. But this is where the game introduces you to a different type of enemy. The game introduces you to the local fauna that have been mega evolved, as the game puts it. They were not like this when we landed, but the anomaly storm has done something to them. Either because that's just what it does, or it was in response to our presence on the planet. There's some kind of idea that that the planet Enoch probably doesn't want us, and is basically doing its best to make the place inhospitable. So as you can see, the minigun is like perfect for these enemies. They don't have a lot of health anyway, but the minigun really makes pretty short work of them. And then having the turret, I'm wondering, should I just get rid of the rest of these bullets so I can use my other gun? But having the turret obviously also helps. It's like having a stupid partner who'll just stand there and shoot enemies and not do anything else. It's not great. You'd obviously prefer to have an actual co-op partner, but in lieu of having a co-op partner, the turret does the job. Oh, shit. So one kind of annoying thing, you saw it there, when the minigun and also the rocket launcher run out of ammo, there is a small window of time where he'll still keep trying to use it. I really shouldn't be reloading this much. This character does not have any specific when you reload skills. Well, he does on the LMG, but I never use it, so no point, really. Enemies die fast enough with the gun I have, so I don't feel the need. This was a mistake. Throw that out. Okay, this this is a problem. Alright, I actually have a reason to use this now. So that little yellow corona that pops up, that's the fusion blast. So he's on fire because I'm reloading. Again, that was the other ability that this gun had. If you don't like that ability, it is a legendary weapon, but if you don't like that ability, you can swap it out. It is a mod. You can give it a different one if you want. You aren't locked into it. Where is this guy? Okay, I couldn't see him, and he was frozen. He was almost camouflaged. So that gun is a little better for enemies that have more health, because you can obviously shoot a couple of enemies and then reload, so they'll get hit by the reloading feature of the gun. Enemies that die in like 2 shots, obviously that is a waste on those types of enemies. I think it's just lore that's up here. I know there's a pickup up here. I think it's like a journal entry. Yeah, it's a journal entry. So there's like different snippets you can pick up out in the world, little journal entries and information about the game world and the 30 years that you were asleep. What's happening? He has apparently a force push move.
Outrider, we're almost back to your camp.
But you never get to use it in the game?
How's Jane doing?
She's barely hanging on. I'm doing what I can, but she'll make it.
She's not doing very much. Here's a big pool of blood. Delicious. The game does like to just throw random gory imagery at you. Like this enemies caught in barbed wire, pools of blood. There's a bit in like the end of the prologue section where there's just mountains of corpses. And you have to kind of think, like, how many humans came on the expedition that you can have this many humans and like it still be a viable thing? Oops. Don't hip fire a minigun, it doesn't go well. Alright, let's move forward. So, game introduced us there to poison enemies. If they hit you with their toxic attack, it will poison you. And as I'm sure you are probably familiar with, poison in a video game means gradually reducing health. Not particularly helpful in a game that doesn't have health regen or doesn't have health packs. So having enemies that poison you, not helpful, but you can get rid of the poison just by healing. So for the Technomancer, that's really easy. All you gotta do is just hit one enemy and the toxic's gone. So, well, not quite. Not quite. It does take a couple of shots. Set him on fire, why not? That killed him too. That was nice. Didn't have to waste a bullet on him. Can help out the turret while we're here. Why not? Throw out another one. So, I'm kind of hoping my rocket launcher comes back soon, because a big enemy drops in a few waves. I'd rather not deal with him without it. Alright, it's back. It's fine. Oh, we're not done yet. Yeah, this smash to black the game does isn't great. It makes you think the game has crashed. Anyway, this is the alpha, whatever these things are. He is not hard, but he's a bit of a pain. It's really only a problem when a lot of them show up. Which is kind of odd, like... Okay, I've actually been poisoned there. But it's kind of odd how you can have multiple alphas. It doesn't make sense. Yep, poisoned again. The game also kind of resets your health and resets your skills once enemies have been gone long enough. Sorry, not your skills, your health. So if you were like at 1 hit point, and the game kind of requires you to attack enemies and to kill to get your health back, it's kind of shitty when, you know, if you finished an encounter on low health, you wouldn't have a way to get any health back. So the game kind of recognizes that and just says, okay, there haven't been enemies around for a while, or rather, you've been out of combat for a while. So they'll just put you back to full health. So that's not to say that there's cover health or, you know, hang out in a corner and don't get killed health. There's, like, it's specifically you need to be outside of combat. If there's still enemies hanging around, it doesn't count. Get some more iron. And there's a chest all the way at the top here. Here. Which I didn't find on my first time through. A friend that I played this game in co-op with found it, and I was like, shit, I missed that. Like, missing one chest isn't a big deal, but still, I'm usually pretty good at sniffing out hidden items and stuff. I was a little annoyed I missed it. Okay, we can drop the bridge. One thing I have noticed about this asset, this toggle switch, it's used a couple of times, and it has a close light and an open light. It swaps directly to the open light before you actually toggle it. I'm not sure if that's on purpose or it's a bug, or maybe it's meant to be like that. I don't know. But anyway, this next section, there's only been a couple of encounters where I felt I had to drop the world tier because it was just too difficult. This is one of them. It's actually really difficult. It's really tricky. Now, it might be fine because we're at level, you know, we've dropped the world tier down 2, and I'm wearing gear that is really, really high. So, or much higher level than the enemies will be facing. What's your mod? Are you any good? Killer medic. Killing shots replenish. I never use this gun, though. That's the thing. I'll never use the fucking handguns. Okay, so we are starting to see like level 19 stuff drop, and this is level 18. Yeah, because now that I've leveled up, stuff at my level is dropping. So that, of course, is the other kind of churn rate for loot games. Why didn't you apply it to this one? Why can't I mark you? Oh, it's a DLC thing. That's why. The mod on these is actually really cool. I'll show it in a second. Let me just make sure I don't mark the ones that are actually better for me. 460. Probably keep you. Wait, I did that wrong. Hang on to you. No, and we'll hang on to you because your firepower is better, but your mod is useless. Anyway, so we'll scrap these. So let me just show you this DLC boots. The DLC gear itself is decent. It's okay. There's some really interesting mods in it. This is probably the most fun one. It just kind of flavors your dodge into this lightning teleport thing, which is pretty cool. It doesn't make you invincible or invulnerable while that's happening, unfortunately, which is something I found out, which is why I quickly, because I was hanging on to them because I liked the effect, but I quickly figured out that, which one do I want? This one. I quickly figured out that it doesn't make you invincible, so no point in hanging on to it. Alright, here we go. We'll see how well this goes. I don't like this fight. I can't really point out any particular reason. I don't remember there being tons of snipers or anything. I'm shooting my own turret. That's kind of stupid. Okay, and now some of the big bruiser enemies show up. Get my turret out again. Come on, jerks. I know you're there. Come down here and fight me. Here they are. Whoops. You gotta be careful when you press the run for cover button, because your character occasionally has a mind of their own. So I'm gonna wait for this fire to go away. Because otherwise I'll be on fire, and I don't want to be on fire. Woof, that was bad. Oh, I'm in a grenade. I was in a double grenade, actually. Double guitars! Guy did not want to die. See, you're just fucking surrounded by enemies here. How you're meant to deal with this at the level you actually encounter them with one player is it's unfair. And that's what I mean by the game being really designed for a team. I don't feel like it's designed to be played with a single person. I haven't really let those enemies do their thing. Some of them are flamethrower guys, some of them just have big shotguns and they run at you and they have a lot of armor and they take a while to die. That's kind of their deal. They're not being as aggressive as they usually are. I'm either playing this better, which I doubt, because I'm me, or it's because we're at a better or a lower world tier, so they're being nicer to me. Enemies don't do as much damage on the lower tier. Their level isn't as high. I think they're only 2 levels ahead of me. No, these guys are the same level as me. It must be like elite enemies or something, or higher level than you. Which would make sense. Okay, we need to get in there. Oh, there's a guy here. Take head. Okay, he's done. So I'm playing it a bit loose there, running out of cover. The Technomancer in a lot of ways is very different to the rest of the character classes. I'm kind of playing him kind of unlike you would play most of the other classes. The other classes are they're just as aggressive at the enemies. They want to get in there, they want to do their damage, they do their skills as much as possible. He is the big bottleneck of this fight, so I'm glad he fucking died quickly. Looks like the game bugged out a little bit, because none of the other enemies showed up with him. Because they're only showing up now. So that helped. That helped a lot. Because these melee guys, coupled with the altered guy, make this really difficult. That it? Nope. Still some guys left. I mean, being able to tag guys and have them freeze like right away, it stops them in their tracks. It's really useful. I'm on fire for some reason. Don't ask questions. And that was that. That went much better. It's almost certainly because my gear is obviously much higher now than the first time I encountered this area. And the world tier, I think I did this at world tier 6, so we're doing this at 5, so that also probably helped a lot. Let's just make sure I get the next chest. I think there's a chest up those stairs. Don't worry about the alarm, it's fine. They won't come after us until... Oh, never mind. I thought there was. Is there no chest in this area? This is the one area that does not have a chest. It might be in the next... Might be in the next area, I'm not sure. Anyway, let's move on. Or is it around here? No, okay. So is it saying, like, the Technomancer is kind of a standoffish class? They kind of hang out at the back, throw out their turrets, throw out their rockets, and that kind of thing. Should probably have more of a sniper rifle kind of guy. Like assault rifles and sniper rifles, that kind of thing. Definitely no particular reason for them to have a shotgun that I can think of. Although I could be full of shit, I'm still fairly early in the game. Different other classes, though, like the Trickster is very close up. They only get healing by dealing damage to enemies within close range, so obviously shotgun is pretty much... Shotguns and SMGs is like their bread and butter. I haven't played any of the other classes, but as far as I can tell, the Pyromancer is more of a mid-range kind of character. They want to be close enough that they can hit enemies easily enough, but also being able to move out and keep a decent eye on groups of enemies. And the Destructor is not unlike the Trickster in that they want to be in the middle of combat, but unlike the Trickster who wants to get in and then get out immediately, and always be on the move, the Devastator or Destructor, I think it's the Devastator, kind of wants to just stay there and hang out and make friends. Anyway, another... Actually, fuck it. You can watch this cutscene. There's no story shit now. This is Luther. I don't like the main character. I think they are an ass and generally unpleasant, even if they are... They're kind of funny and they're like humorous. They can make jokes about stuff, but they're also far too blasé about some of the horrible shit that's happening in the world. They have committed like so many war crimes. So many war crimes. And they just brush them off. I don't find them particularly likable. And it's not different whether you're male or female or whatever. The character is the same. Anyway, that is the total thing for the first city. There are then a bunch of side quests that open up that you can tackle. This guy shows up. He has a side quest where he wants you to do some stuff for him. Zahidi also has a side quest that I've already completed. That's why it's grayed out. But he also has a side quest that you can do in that area. There's also a character back at the main hub base called Rift Town. And that character collects like trinkets and stuff from the old world, from Earth. So it's like vinyl records and collectible models and that kind of thing. So you find different collectibles out in the world and you give it to her, and she gives you shit in return. She gives you like, well, guns stuff, because that's all you're really interested in this game. So we'll show a bit of the crafting since he's here now. So he is accessible. We can replay his quest if we want to get rewards and stuff. Well, we're not going to do that. Have a look at the gear.
As long as you live, so do the Outriders.
So
remember that.
Right. Hang on. I actually want to equip the stuff that I want to keep. So I want to keep this revolver. There's nothing in the helmet. I want to wear this. I want to wear this. And nothing for gloves. And wear these boots. And we're going to scrap everything else, because we don't need them anymore. I'll explain. You can see stuff popping up down here. I'll explain that in a minute. So this is our new gear. No, this. Thank you. Talk to Zahidi again. Upgrade my gear.
Find any other Outriders still in cryo?
Anyway, what did I want to do? So we changed the chest piece. So I don't want blighted rounds because I don't use blighted rounds. So we want to change the mod. We want to change the mod to something that I do use. So I use cryo turret a lot. I should probably have checked which one I was swapping out. I think it was this one. It was both of them, I think. Anyway, so increase the turret's damage, or the turret heals allies within a 20-meter radius. Oh, when the ability ends? No, that's not as useful. If it was just stand beside the turret and you get healed, that would be better. So yeah, I want this because we already had it. So I'm just putting the mods in that I already had, basically. So put that in. Use leather to apply the mods. We have the mod in. You can see different tiers. I'm only on tier 1, but it goes up to tier 3. I haven't unlocked any of them, but they're all there. These all correspond to your skills. The locked ones are mods I haven't found yet. But if you had a Trickster or a Pyromancer or a Devastator, you would have those skills here instead. So I just want to make sure I have all the mods on that I was already using. So there was another turret one, not this one. So you see the red mods do not stack. So you can't apply the same mod to multiple pieces of equipment, or rather you can, but they won't stack. The abilities won't stack. So that's what the red thing is telling you. The red kind of squares in the top right corner of Hill Shot. So I think it was this one I had instead. So put you on. And then it was the boots I changed out. Yes, because I'm not using Cold Snap. So what did I not have? Was it you? No. One additional rocket? No. Waste of time. It's not you. I don't use shrapnel. No. Oh yeah, it's this one. Yeah, I definitely want to keep that. Fucking double the amount of rockets I can fire at people. Absolutely. Okay, we have our pistol that I never use. And to be honest, that mod is fine. I'm happy enough with that. We could, if we wanted to, again, swap out these mods if we didn't want the burn enemies when we reload, or little explosions when we shoot them. You can also swap the variant of the gun. So stabilizing has particular stats. Standard rate of fire, less crit multiplier, lower rate of fire, but the clip size is bigger, reloads faster, does more damage. Stabilizing is the middle one that I have. And then suppressing, accuracy is absolute trash. Doesn't fire very fast, massive clip size, but it's almost entirely downsides otherwise. Why would you ever pick this one? But you can change out the variant there if you want. Assault rifle has something similar. I am using the tactical variant, which is a burst fire weapon. The standard variant is your standard auto fire assault rifle. Hold down the trigger and it will keep firing until you run out of bullets. Sharpshooter fires a single bullet for every trigger fire, so that's more like this. These are kind of all the equivalents of the Destiny assault rifles. This is your regular rifle. This is the pulse rifle version. This is the scout rifle version. What else did I want to do? I forget. Anyway, stuff that the stuff that popped up in the bottom corner. So that is used here. It's for raising attributes of things. You can raise the armor piercing property of the gun. You can raise the healing received from the gun. So I haven't put anything at healing received. So let's do that. Okay, so now it has a stack of healing received. It's gone up a little bit. You can obviously keep applying that. Thing to watch out for though is these don't come back. If you scrap this gun, that's it. You don't get them back. You can also get a list of them here. Scrap is currency. It's money. You can use it to buy stuff. Leather you need if you want to do anything to your armor. Iron you'll need if you want to do anything to a gun. Titanium is mostly for legendary stuff. So if I wanted to level it up, so if I wanted to push the level of the gun up, I'd need titanium. I'd also need it if I wanted to improve the rarity, but I can't because it's at max rarity. Maybe if I went here. So if I wanted to change this from a rare to a legendary, I don't have enough titanium to do it, but that's how you would do it. You can also level it up. Because this isn't a legendary thing, it just takes leather, so I can push that up. So that's the kind of bottleneck of you possibly having to swap out your legendary stuff for something that's not as, it doesn't have... Obviously the best thing about legendaries is that it's 2 mod slots. And in general, their stats are typically pretty good. But obviously the best thing is being able to put two mods into the gun at the same time. What else to say about Outriders other than that's kind of it. If you've played Destiny, you have a pretty good idea of how the game plays, except it's in third person. That's kind of it. You have your typical skills. A lot of the skills do have analogs in Destiny. The Pyromancer plays a bit like the Sun Warlock. He has like a Phoenix ability that brings him back if he's dropped, that kind of thing. Multiplayer, the revive mechanic is a tiny bit different. In multiplayer, you do have a self-revive, and your partners can also revive you as well. In single player, you do not have a self-revive, so if you are dropped, that's it. You gotta start again, which is why I typically play on a lower world tier for single player than I do for multiplayer, because it's much less forgiving on single player. Entirely sure what else to say about Outriders, honestly. I'm still kind of mixed on it. I do like, there are some really nice things where you can get into the synergy of that kind of thing, plotting out, what you want to do with your character, like going through this tree and saying, I'm going to take that next, and next level I'm going to take that, next level I'm going to take whatever, and you can find something really nice. You can also reset this whenever you want. So if you have come up across a particular combat scenario and your current loadout isn't working for you, you can just straight up change it. Like, there's no penalty to it at all. That's really nice. You're not locked into that character. You are locked into your class. That's the only thing that you're locked into. You pick that right at not quite right at the start of the game if you play the prologue, but the prologue kind of crap, so I don't really bother doing that. The first kind of proper mission in the game, you'll pick your character class. You'll get hit by this anomaly storm and you'll have to decide what kind of outrider you're going to be or whatever. I picked Technomancer. I had played a Trickster in the demo, but a friend that I played this game with also wanted to play a Trickster, so I thought there's no point in us both playing a Trickster, so fuck it. Technomancer was the only one that appealed to me. Otherwise, I might give a look at Pyromancer, because I have seen some interesting stuff there. Devastator is not interesting to me, at least. I don't really like the stand there and just tank kind of thing. I like it in some games. I just don't see the point of it in a shooter. Shooter seems to me like you should be moving about. Anyway, that is Outriders. Yeah, I'll have more to say about it in one of my monthly game. Well, it won't be the February one, but it will be March or April, one of those. So you can have a look at it there. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if you're playing Outriders, if you have any thoughts. Am I full of shit, etc. Let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.